good evening and welcome. It is time for ladies softball. My name is Scott Harrison, and we are in Weslaco, Texas. And tonight it is going to be the Lady Panthers of Weslaco. They are 1-0 on the season, have a victory over Sherryland Pioneer, also won all their scrimmages. And they're taking on the Mercedes Tigers. Not sure of their record. We were not able to get it, but I believe this may be their first game, at least looking at Max Preps, that's what they said. And tonight, Katia Reyes is going to be pitching for the Lady Panthers. And coming up to bat is going to be, of course, Mercedes, the visitors tonight. They're located just down the road here from Weslaco. And starting out for them is going to be Casady Rodriguez, and she is the second baseman. And we get underway, and our first pitch is in there. And again, it's good to have a strike to start the game. Maybe that's a good omen for the Lady Panthers. Of course, last night we brought you basketball, and unfortunately the Lady Panthers basketball team was eliminated from the playoffs in the area round. We'll talk more about that as the night goes on. But we have a second pitch, and it is going to be a ball. And again, we've just come on the air, so we haven't had time to give you the starting lineups. We'll kind of give them as we go tonight. It's good to be here on K-West and YouTube. And also a nice night tonight. Got up into the 80s today. Swinging at a high pitch. It is going to be a 1-2 count. Again, the softball field located right next to the football field. Sorry if I'm a little bit hoarse tonight, but again, a lot of action last night. And a swinging strike. So there is one out. And that is a good start for the Lady Panthers. Now coming to the plate, it is going to be Bridget Sanchez, and she plays catcher for the Tigers. Again, 7 innings here for these baseball games. And first pitch to her, also a swinging strike. Like the style so far of what I see from Reyes. Challenges her hitters, but doesn't throw anything down the middle. A little bit maybe inside, a little bit up, but got a swing at it. Now that was a high pitch that time. So the count goes to 1-1. Again, Sanchez, the catcher. Glad to have you all aboard. Next pitch outside. So a 2-1 count. Mayo Rodriguez, head coach for the Lady Panthers. Perfect night for baseball. Probably going to get down into the 60s before we're done. 3-1 count. Of course, the Panthers in their usual purple and white. And next pitch, going to be a called strike on the outside corner. Mercedes in their white and burnt orange. Both teams, of course, want to get off to a good start this season. And that's a swinging strike, strike 3. So Reyes strikes out the first 2 batters she faces on swinging strikeouts. And that will bring up the third batter for the Tigers. And this is going to be a ball. And at the plate right now, we have Angelique Rangel. And Rangel will swing away. Tiger's not afraid to swing at pitches. It's 1-1. And she plays in the outfield. Left fielder. Another called strike. So 1-2. We'll see if Reyes can strike out the side. takes her time at the mound. Pitch is low and outside. Even count 2-2. Again, a perfect night for baseball. Here's the windup and the pitch. And it is going to be popped out. Nice job catching the ball as the third baseman, Mia Rodriguez. So a pop out to third base. 1, 2, 3. No hits, no runs, no errors, no one left on base. We've played a half inning here at Weslaco. And there is no score between the Tigers and the Panthers.
Before Rene Hinojosa became a business executive, he was a student at Weslaco ISD. He participated in UIL academics, designed the original Wildcats logo, was an all-state academic middle linebacker. He then played for the Longhorns, graduating with a business degree from UT. Now he's the Director of Strategic Development at Doctors Hospital at Renaissance. Weslaco ISD is home to some of the most prestigious graduates in the Rio Grande Valley. For Rene Hinojosa, WISD was the right choice.
Of course, last night, girls basketball, that was over in Laredo. Played at Laredo Martin. And it was, unfortunately, the end of the season for the Lady Panthers. They lost, but played a tough game. Lost 52-41. They did lead after the opening quarter, 13-11. But San Antonio Stevens proved to be just a little too much. Still, Lady Panthers basketball team made the second round, area round, for the 9th straight season. So that is quite an accomplishment. Of course, the boys team still alive. Over the weekend, they won in their first game of the postseason in the bi-district, and we'll talk more about that in just a bit. Obviously, the Tigers are warming up, getting ready to go in just a minute. And pitching for them tonight, Aramari Padales. We'll see if that's it. No, again, that was just someone coming up to the mound. Actually, the pitcher is going to be Clarissa Rizzo. So Rizzo will be their pitcher tonight. And getting ready to lead off will be Lily Torres, who plays second base for the Panthers. Bottom of the first, no score. Mercedes went down 1-2-3. First two batters struck out. Other popped out to third base. So Rizzo, with her first pitch, a swinging strike. Found the outside corner low. 0-1. Wind looks like it's blowing in tonight. Not sure how many miles an hour. Next pitch, high. Ball one. Again, we'll talk about it in a bit, but boys basketball coming up on K-West on Thursday night. Tip-off 7 o'clock will be in Corpus Christi. We'll give you more information during the game. Fouled away, 1-2. Obviously, some baseball scheduled for last week. I guess froze out. That might be the right word. School not in session. No sporting events, but back at it again this week. Pitch high, 2-2. I grew up watching a lot of baseball when I grew up in Chicago out at Wrigley Field. So actually growing up, baseball was my first love, at least as a spectator. Played a little bit myself, not really good at it, but enjoyed it. Pop up, goes to first base, and a pop out to first, 1 out. So that will bring up the second batter. Third baseman, Mia Rodriguez. She, of course, caught the pop out that ended the first inning, top of the first. Now coming to bat. Again, Rizzo, by the way, is a sophomore. And that is going to be popped up, but looks like it's going to be out of play in the stands. In the stands to our right. Yellow baseball, very easy to see. Rizzo coming back to the plate. Here's the pitch. Swing. 0-2. So Rizzo ahead of the batter. Nice crowd out tonight. No threat of rain. Sky looks clear. Next pitch high. 1-2. Looked like Rodriguez was taken all the way. Next pitch, hit toward the outfield, gonna find the gap. Goes back to the wall, and it is going to be a double. Now as the ball's thrown in, trying to get to third base. Doesn't work, and Rodriguez is thrown out. So tried to stretch that double into a triple, did not work. And that is the second out of the inning. So coming to bat will be the catcher. Or actually, did they say she was safe? Let's double check. All right. Rodriguez talking right now. Regardless, in a moment, Jules Garcia, the catcher, will come to the plate. No, she is out. But you can't blame Coach Rodriguez for going out there, stating his case. But that was a nice hit. Went to the wall between left and center. Rodriguez put a nice pop on that ball. So this pitch hits the corner. Hits the outside corner. Strike one. Garcia also batting from the right side. Righties. And she puts power on that ball to the gap again. Similar area. And she hit it so hard and maybe a little hesitant after seeing the previous batter out. She stops at first. Really, it was hit so hard and went to the outfield so fast. She really did not want to try to leg it out into a two-base hit. So with 2 outs, designated player comes up, number 10. Stacy Batista. Stacy takes a big cut at it and misses. She was looking to get into that gap too. So that's strike one. I love the Panther eyes up out on the scoreboard. Of course, every time I go to the zoo, I'm always a big fan of the big cats. So that ball fouled back. Once again, Rizzo ahead of the hitter. 0-2. So far, 2 hits in this inning. And the balls were hit hard both times. Unfortunately, on the first hit, as we mentioned, Rodriguez out at third base, trying to stretch a double into a triple. That ball is going to allow the runner to steal. Stolen base for Garcia. Also makes it a 1-2 count. So we see some aggressiveness on the base paths. And that ball will go to short, right to the shortstop, who catches it for the out. So a pop out to short. We have 2 hits, no runs, 1 runner left on base. We've played 1 inning of play, and there's no score between the Lady Panthers of Weslaco, the home team, and the Lady Tigers of Mercedes.
Before Clarissa Renteria was a dentist, she was a student at Weslaco ISD. She was a cheerleader, played softball, and started college early through the dual enrollment program. She graduated from UTPA before earning her degree from the University of Texas School of Dentistry in Houston. Now she is Dr. Renteria, creating beautiful smiles at Professional Dental Group. Weslaco ISD is home to some of the most prestigious graduates in the Rio Grande Valley. For Dr. Clarissa Renteria, WISD was the right choice.
So we move to the second inning of play. And now stepping to the plate is Alinda Camacho. And first pitch is low. Or actually is a strike. All right, hit the corner down low, so strike one. She plays at shortstop. Another strike. Correction, she's third baseman. I'm sorry about that. Got to get my numbers down. It's been a while since I've done a baseball game. Playing the 5 position. And out on 3 pitches. A swinging strikeout. So already 3 strikeouts in the game for our starting pitcher. Nice job so far by Katia Reyes. And now a swinging strike as stepping to the plate. We have Krista Garza. Actually, Claire Garza, I believe. Count now is 1-1 after the ball. It's just so great to be able to play baseball again in temperate weather. And that caught the corner. I'm telling you tonight, Reyes is hitting the mark. She is finding her spots. All different parts of the plate. Very impressive. I'm extremely impressed early in the season like this. And that is a swinging strike. Another strikeout. 4 already, and we're not even through the second inning. Will she strike out the side? We'll have to wait and see. Now coming to the plate Adamari Paroles. And that's a swinging strike. She's the designated player. And that's a foul. Of course, we've got Alex up here working the scoreboard. Alex, is it just me, or it looks like she's really got good control of changing the speed of her pitches? Yeah, just he'll be kind of like my silent commentator, my silent analyst. He's got his mask on, so, I mean, he's doing the right thing, but he'll give me some hand signs. Hopefully, no bad ones, right? Hope he doesn't get mad at me. No, he's a good guy, and I want to thank him also publicly on the air for the help he does during the basketball games this season, while he's doing the good job doing all the stats you see up on the scoreboard. He also gives me, from what the official score does, he yells up to me in the upper deck what the point totals are at halftime. And that's a foul ball, so it's still 0-2. I got to tell you also, this gentleman makes sure that you know how many fouls are up there, but also who had the foul. And, you know, I was out these playoff games this past week, and they didn't put that up there. So sometimes, you know, I was at one school, and we were behind the officials, so it was hard to know who actually committed the foul because they didn't put it up on the scoreboard. But Alex does that all the time. So that was much appreciated this year. And now it's 1-2 after a ball. I always like to give thanks to the people that help me out. I'm always appreciative. You're nothing without your support staff, and of course, we'll talk about who's here for K-West later on during the game. And that is a slow roller. Gets by the mound, and it's going to be a base hit, I believe. Are you the official scorer, too? So, we call that a hit? All right. We'll call that a hit. So, no hit. We're not going to have a no-hitter tonight. Or a perfect game. But what a good start. As we saw, the first 5 batters were retired. 3 on strikeouts, actually 4 on strikeouts by our pitcher. And that's another strike. And coming to the plate, Michaela Cisneros is batting. And she's our center fielder for Mercedes. Again, 2 outs. Strike. And she really finds all these different spots. I think she's hit everywhere around the plate. Yeah, all the corners, low, high. Really knows her strike zone. And there you go. Struck out the side, although she did allow a base hit. So no runs, 1 hit, 1 left on base. We've completed an inning and a half, and it's still scoreless between Weslaco and Mercedes. So we are in the bottom of the second. And coming to the plate will be the shortstop, number 5, Lexi Escamilla. Sun has completely set now, of course. Nice lighting system here. No problem watching the games. And that first pitch is hit to the outfield. Fly out to center field. 1 pitch, 1 out. You're scoring F8. So that will bring up the left fielder, number 12, Jordan Diaz. Pitching, Clarissa Rizzo. Here's the pitch, and it hits the corner. Outside corner, strike one. See the football field exactly next door. Seen some great games over the years, both by the Panthers and, of course, also Weslaco East, the Wildcats. Wildcats, their basketball season has completely come to an end. Next pitch high, ball one. Hopefully, more normality for the next football season. Miss those big crowds that the Weslaco schools all bring in. But we're appreciative to see fans at all this year and hope everybody's staying healthy. That's the main thing, safe and healthy. Next pitch outside. Of course, let me also say everybody drives safely too. Tiger Woods in a serious car accident today. At least some sort of leg injuries. Don't know too much of the details. Happened this morning about 7 a.m. Los Angeles time. I know he was questionable to play in the Masters. I don't think we'll be seeing him there now. 2-1 the count. Diaz at the plate. Ball low. 3-1. No walks surrendered so far in this game by either team. Again, batter steps out for a moment. Haven't seen much of that either. Early on. Most people just going to the plate and taking care of business pretty quick. But that's part of baseball. Nothing wrong with that. Baseball a mental game too, and it worked maybe because that's a ball and a walk. First walk of the game. Jordan Diaz, nice eye at the plate. And now the pitcher comes up. Gutierrez. With a runner on and one out. And again, a ball. And you can see the catcher concerned about the runner at first base. Fake to throw. Trying to keep her close. Again, Diaz. Alex, I know you watch these games a lot. Diaz got some speed. Yeah, I thought so. Look like it. Look like it. They look like they're concerned about her. 2-0. Of course, no one's going to mind if you're a Weslaco fan if get some runners on via walk. And that ball will go down to third base. Is it a possible double play? No, just gets it over to second to force the runner, so a force out. And that's going to be, I believe, 5-4 on the force out. With Reyes on first. And coming in to run for her is going to be Alexis Solis. At the plate, right fielder Julie Rodriguez. But we were talking a little bit about whether Diaz had some speed. She did a good job making sure she got to second and broke up any chance of a double play. Now that's a slow roller to the second baseman, but it will be an out. So that is going to go 4-3. And in the inning, no runs, no hits, one runner left on base. We've played 2 full innings and no score at Weslaco between Mercedes and the Lady Panthers.
Before Harlan Block raised the flag over Iwo Jima, he was a student at Weslaco ISD. There he played for the Panthers, won a championship, and learned some of the leadership skills he and 7 other students used while serving in the Marines. Weslaco ISD is home to some of the most prominent graduates in the Rio Grande Valley. For war hero Harlan Block, Weslaco ISD was the right choice.
To say we're going to begin the top of the 3rd inning. And coming to bat will be number 9 for the visitors, and that's going to be Bella Ramos. And Ramos plays left field. Right now, Mayo Rodriguez, their head coach, giving some instructions to the battery mates. Reyes. Of course, the pitcher, Jules Garcia, the catcher. And that's a foul ball. Only 1 hit given up so far by the home team. I believe the home team, the Panthers, late Panthers, have a couple hits themselves. A couple ones in the gap between left and center. So 2 strikes to start off the 3rd inning. And that's a swinging strike, strike 3. So as we see here in this game so far, 5 strikeouts recorded by the starter for Weslaco, Reyes. Another one there. Great control. Her ratio of balls and strikes would be very heavily favored in strikes if we were able to keep that statistic. Another strike. You want to do that, Alex, like he doesn't have enough to do already. Running the scoreboard. So another strike. Our ball again. Well, actually now we have a 1-1 count. Strike that time. And that's a swinging strike. She's got a nice little hitch, Reyes, in her delivery. Might have kind of stalled the batter for a second, kind of figuring out what's happening. Yeah, that off speed, as Alex just said. And there we go, another strikeout, swinging. So there you go. She has at least 2 strikeouts in all 3 innings. At least 2 of the 3 outs she's had in each inning has been a strikeout. Yeah. All right. Okay, that is going to be a ball. And we're back to the top of the order. It's Rodriguez, Casita Rodriguez. And that's going to be another ball. I don't think she's been that far behind tonight at all. I don't think she's ever had a 2-0 count, Reyes, against somebody. We'll see what happens this time. That time, swinging strike. Went after some high heat. You like that? So it's going to be 1-2. Actually, 2-1, I'm sorry. It's a whole different feel when you go from a basketball night when things are so fast moving to a night of baseball. But it's nice. That's going to be 3-1. And she has not walked anyone tonight. I'm not even sure she's had 3 balls against anyone tonight. Maybe once. First time up, Rodriguez struck out. That's fouled back. So we have a full count at 3-2. Let's see if we have something that tries to nip a corner, a pitch, or one high heat down the middle. Well, she threw it pretty much down the middle that time, but it's fouled off left side. She challenged the hitter. And that time, Rodriguez was up to the challenge. Stayed alive. Wind has been pretty consistent blowing tonight. Again, that foul down the left side. I remember growing up, going to Wrigley Field in Chicago. Everybody wanted to keep a foul ball. That was their goal. Never got one at that time of my life. Of course, obviously, at this level, you don't keep the baseballs, but that one's also fouled away. I have to admit I admire Rodriguez staying alive. And maybe Reyes having to be a little more careful how she pitches. Can't try to nip the corners so more for strikes. Has to kind of throw it a little more up the middle, not to walk the batter. So it's making it a little bit easier for Rodriguez to stay alive. And here we go again down the middle. But this time she is going to hit it to second base. And that is going to end the inning 4-3. And she is out. So no runs, no hits, no errors. No one left at base. We've played 2.5 here in Weslaco. No score between Mercedes and the Lady Panthers of Weslaco.
Before David Lozano started practicing law, he was a student at Weslaco ISD. He participated in UIL athletics. He was a regional qualifier. He earned college credits through the dual enrollment program. After high school, he attended the University of Texas before graduating from St. Mary's School of Law. Now he helps people in need as an attorney. WISD is home to some of the most prestigious graduates in the Rio Grande Valley. For David Lozano, Weslaco ISD was the right choice.
We were talking about the boys' basketball action. One of the keys late in that game was Andrew Almeida hitting a three-point shot that tied the score on Saturday at 37 all. And the thing was, he really struggled. I even talked to him after the game. You know, he was really throwing up some long ones that were air balls and just had a hard time. Was working hard out there, don't get me wrong. Hustling on defense and everything. Got in some foul trouble. I remember at one point, I think it was the second quarter, he picked up a couple quick fouls right before halftime. But the young man never gave up. And I think down the stretch he hit a free throw, and then, of course, the main thing, hit that three-point shot. And I remember talking during the broadcast saying that could really be the turning point in the game. And, you know, I don't just say that trying to be a homer. You know, I know I work for K-West, but I really felt that could be a key. And then all of a sudden, you know, we go to the overtime, as I mentioned. I think Weslaco outscored their opponent 6-1, 7-1, something like that. Ray De Leon, their big scorer, had 39 points the first time they met. He fouled out. I think the first time they met, and I'm doing this by memory, Weslaco beat Economies like 59-54. And, of course, this also was a 5-point victory. So, but, again, congratulations to the boys' basketball team at Weslaco moving on. And we're going to move on. The bottom of the third coming up. And, again, no score. And we will see if the Lady Panthers can get a rally. They've hit the ball hard several times. Just not been able to capitalize. And the first pitch is a strike. Merlin Chadiaria is up, first baseman, number 19. Strike. Second pitch high, 1-1. Alyssa Rizzo is the pitcher. She's gone all the way so far for Mercedes. That's going to be fouled back to the netting. And we're getting word that Tiger Woods broke both legs and shattered his ankle. That's what happened in his auto accident this morning in the Los Angeles area. So the report said he's lucky to be alive, so we're glad the injuries for Tiger weren't worse. Pop up to third base, and that'll be the first out of the inning. Back to the top of the lineup, we have Lily Torres, number 7. She popped out, I believe, at first base her first time up. This time looks like she's going to bunt. That's what she's signaling. No, gets back into her full stance. A bluff. Like a good poker player, right? Had the bluff out there. So, it paid off because it was a ball. Again, she gets that stance like she wants to bunt. We'll see. Of course, the third baseman, first baseman, everybody playing in the infield now. And that's going to be a ball again. You have to wonder if that rattles the pitcher at all. Try to see into the mind of the pitcher. Here we go, infield playing in, and it's going to go to the third baseman. And that is going to be a bad throw, and it's going to get Lily down to second. She gets to second easy. Are we scoring that a hit or an error? Error, okay. So that will be E5. And gets Lily Torres to second base. And brings up Mia Rodriguez. Rodriguez, if I recall, hit that ball sharply in the alley between center and left field, but tried to stretch a double into a triple and was called out, though Maya Rodriguez did argue. It looked to me initially it was out in real time, but it was close. I can't argue with the argument by Coach Rodriguez. You got to do what you can, protect your players. First pitch is a strike. Have one out. Lily Torres looks like she's getting ready to be in a race there, and she goes halfway down the base path as that is a ball. Alex, Lily got some speed, doesn't she? Again, you just kind of can tell who's got that running speed sometimes, just looking at how they address themselves out there. And again, it's a 1-1 count. Batter steps out of the box. Rodriguez asks for time. Now it looked like the catcher, she's going to ask for time. She almost ran out there without asking the umpire for the time, but that's fine. Now the team's playing some mental games. You can't blame them. It's a cat and mouse kind of game sometimes. Well, I guess it would be a cat game a little bit, right? Because we got the Lady Panthers. And with the Tigers, they're big cats too. Not sure where the mouse fits in. So, again, we want to say it is a 1-1 count, 1 out. And we have Lily Torres, who plays second on second. And we are in the bottom of the third, no score. That pitch high. We know the Lady Panthers, they are 1-0 they defeated Sherryland Pioneer. We're not sure about Mercedes. We looked at Max Preps. Their coach was very busy before the game, so we didn't really get to talk to her. But according to them, this is their first game. Not sure about that. Again, with all the weather postponements, it's hard to know who's played and who hasn't for sure. That's definitely inside. So 3-1. And again, Rodriguez getting some instruction from the dugout. Will she try to bunt? That looked like she was thinking about it maybe. No, she'll keep the bat in her hands and she'll hit it up. And it looks like it's going to be it looked like it was going to be a pop out to right field, but instead she's going to get to second. And I would assume because the outfielder did not touch it, it's going to be a double. Outfielder did not touch it. It was a mental error, but it wasn't a physical error. So we are going to give Mia Rodriguez an RBI, and Lily Torres scores from second. Again, a mental error, but since the ball was not touched at all by the outfield, you cannot give an error in that sense. So we know Alex does know how to score a game. In my day, I worked in minor league baseball. I have argued with scorers before on calls, but that one was a good call. So coming to the plate now, we have Jules Garcia. And she also had a hit the first time in the alley, down to, or between center field and left field. And now she's got a runner on base, and the first pitch was a strike. And that's going to be hit down to third. The runner will get over to third, delays her run, but gets there after the batter is thrown out, 5-3. But Batista will advance the runner. I'm sorry, Garcia will advance the runner. Is that a fielder's choice? I mean, excuse me, is that a sacrifice? Okay. So, with 2 outs, we have a runner at third and a 1-0 lead for the Lady Panthers. And again, stepping to the plate, Stacy Batista, who popped out to short for first time at bat. Alex, do we see the runners steal home much in this level? Okay. I know it's short infield. Pop. Catcher tries to run for it, but fell harmlessly to the ground if you're a Lady Panthers fan. 1-1 the count. And again, that is going to be smacked to the alley once again, and that is going to score a run. So second double of the game. Big hit by Garcia. Scores a run. Excuse me, by Batista, I'm sorry. So Lexi Escamilla will come to bat. Lexi flied out to center her first time up. And she is also going to get a hit. And the runner is going to head to the plate, and she is going to score. So Lexi gets an RBI on that single. To the left side, left field. So nice job there. And now we're going to have a conference at the mound, as Weslaco has scored 3 runs here in the bottom of the third to take a 3-0 lead. Nice job there. Lily Torres, of course, has come in. We've seen 3 hits and an error contribute to these runs in the inning. Some solid hitting by Rodriguez, Batista, and also Escamilla, all having hits in this third. And again, Jordan Diaz at the plate. She walked earlier, and this time she is going to have a little flare. There's going to be fair down the right field line, and that will score another run. And she is going to go for a triple. A triple. Pretty play. Pretty play. Diaz, of course, left fielder. Katia Reyes now the pitcher coming up. And she's got to like the fact that they built a nice little cushion for her. And she'd like to add to her cause as she comes to the plate with a 4-0 lead. All the runs here in the bottom of the third. That was a strike. She's got a pretty bow in her hair. What would that be, a fashion accessory there? Fashion conscious. All right. She'd probably say, just want to keep the hair out of my eyes. And she is going to have a ball that it gets over the head of the right fielder. Over the head of the right fielder, and she's going to go for a triple. Another run scores. So nice job.
Before Harlan Block raised the flag over Iwo Jima, he was a student at Weslaco ISD. There he played for the Panthers, won a championship, and learned some of the leadership skills he and 7 other students used while serving in the Marines. Weslaco ISD is home to some of the most prominent graduates in the Rio Grande Valley. For war hero Harlan Block, Weslaco ISD was the right choice.
At the plate, Julio Rodriguez. First time up. Grounded out. Second to first. Rodriguez, right fielder. Ball's high. So Alex, this is their biggest scoring half inning, right? Obviously, of the season, only the second game. What was the score of that game again against Cherryland Pioneer? 5-2. So they've scored as many runs in this game, in this half inning, as they scored in their other game. 5 in this inning, 5 against Cherryland Pioneer. That's fouled off. If you're just listening, Alex is doing the scoreboard here, but I'm talking to him, getting some insights. And so if you're just wondering who Alex is, who I keep talking to, people do tune in and out, so I have to kind of inform them what's going on. 1-2. 2 strikes. Big inning for the Lady Panthers. That ball's high. And again, this is the 9th batter of the inning. They'll bat it around here, or they have batted around. Two and two's the count. Popped up. Pitcher will take it. And that is the end of the inning. So, in that inning, 5 hits, 5 runs, 1 error, 1 left on base. We have played 3 complete innings so far, And it is the Lady Panthers of Weslaco. They are leading 5-0 over the Lady Tigers of Mercedes.
WHS. Let's dream it. Let's shout it. Let's dream it. Let's shout it. WHS.
Well, that was exciting to see everybody bat in that half inning. If you're a Weslaco fan, and that has to be encouraging to see that your team has a little pop out there, and it's encouraging to see that you have a pitcher that's got a bunch of strikeouts so far, 2 in each of the 3 innings she's pitched. So you're seeing good defense and good offense. Of course, we've been saying that's what we like to see during the basketball games too. I've been saying that a lot already here in the past couple of weeks. But again, this is a lot of fun. And you want to start out the season well. And I would assume if it goes well, Alex, that Reyes would probably pitch all the way, a complete game, as long as she stays. They could bring in, who would they bring in? Oh, Julie. Okay, so Julie Rodriguez could come in possibly. All right, thanks, Alex, for that insight. So possibly we could see Rodriguez later, depending on what happens here with Reyes. We're beginning the 4th inning, and stepping to the plate is number 6 for the visitors, Bridget Sanchez. Sanchez struck out her first time up tonight. We've said that about a lot of players for Mercedes. And Reyes, again, high heat. Strike 1, swinging strike. We've seen a lot of swinging strikes. I would think that most of the strikes tonight have been swinging. Thinking back on this game so far. Here's the next pitch, and again, it's high, so it's 1-1. Very nice facility here. Nice press box, very comfortable. That ball just misses. No, hit the outside corner. For a minute I thought it missed, but that's nice. So it's 1-2. I can only remember maybe once or twice having as many as 3 balls on a batter tonight. Her control has been excellent. That's outside, evens the count at 2-2. Appreciate everybody enjoying us on YouTube, a K-West production. Again, basketball Thursday night. Boys action out of Corpus Christi, 7 o'clock. Strike, swinging strike. So for the second time, we see a strikeout by Sanchez. And no matter what happens the rest of the inning, we can say that Reyes has had a strikeout in each inning, at least one. 1 out. That's a strike. Angelique Rangel on at bat right now. I believe she popped out the first time she was up. 1-1 the count. She plays shortstop. You hear a lot of fans cheering on their teams tonight here. Enthusiastic. That is a bunt attempt that's fouled back. 1-2. Just love to see competitive action in sports. It's so good to see young people involved in sports. I know I wasn't the best runner in the world, but I did some cross country and track, and I think it was a real good influence on my life even to this day. and been involved in high school sports. That ball is low, 2-2. Mercedes, burnt orange jerseys, white helmets. I remember some of their football jerseys, depending on what they wore with that burnt orange color. It was tough to see the numerals doing. I've done a couple of their football games. Remember, that was tough, and that is a called strike. So now we can say that no matter what happens to the third batter in this inning, in each of the 4 innings, Reyes has struck out 2 of the 3 batters. And that's going to win a lot of ball games for you. If, that way, especially on a windy night, we were talking about how maybe the ball is difficult to play in the outfield. If you don't have the ball being hit, you don't have to worry about any errors in the outfield. And that's going to be a strike. At bat right now is Alinda Camacho. She struck out her first time up. Here's the pitch. Strike 2. And remember, in the second inning, although a runner got to first, the only hit of the game, she did strike out the side, Reyes. Let's see if she can do it for a second time. And she does. Second time tonight. She strikes out the side. So in the 4th, top of the 4th, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. And we have gone through 3.5 innings. It is Weslaco leading Mercedes by the score of 5-0.
Before Danya Pulido became an attorney, she was a student at Weslaco ISD. She was a member of the National Honor Society and a cheerleader. She earned her degree from St. Mary's University, then graduated from St. Mary's University School of Law. Now she is Danya Pulido, attorney at law for Texas Legal Services Center in Austin. Weslaco ISD is home to some of the most prestigious graduates in the Rio Grande Valley. For Danya Pulido, Weslaco ISD was the right choice.
We are here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Lady Panthers, big third, batted around, scored 5 runs. And now we'll see what they can do here in the 4th. Again, a scheduled 7-inning game. And first pitch is going to be a strike. Marlene Chavarria up, our first baseman. She actually started off that last inning with an out. Popped up to third base, but then the floodgates opened. And a big scoring inning. So that is going to be a ball, 1-1. Still pitching, Clarissa Rizzo for Mercedes. Alex, is most of the girls for Weslaco, they're righties, aren't they? Just looking at this tonight. Swinging strike, 1-2. Lily, according to Alex here, only lefty that he can remember off the top of his head is Lily Torres. Of course, she is the leadoff hitter. Ooh, that's inside, and that is a called strike. I guess Merlene was kind of crowding the plate. Yeah. So she won't get the benefit of that. It's a called third strike to begin the bottom of the 4th. And speaking of our lefty, here she is. Lily Torres, our second baseman. She got things really going when she got on an error last inning. Also popped out in the game. And can she do the drag bunt pretty good? I can just tell by her stance. She can. Talking to Alex here, who's doing the scoreboard. Yeah, he says drag bunts, slap bunts. Do you like doing a little broadcasting here tonight? Kind of like our mime broadcaster. We don't hear you, but we know you're helping us. Ooh, that goes through the legs of the pitcher, and that will go to the outfield, and that is going to be Lily's first hit of the night. So although Lily scored last inning on an error, actually got on base and then scored. She got on base as a result of an error and then later scored. Let's get that straight. She now has her first hit. And that brings up Mia Rodriguez. And Rodriguez had a double in the last inning and scored. We're going to talk about a lot of people scoring last inning. And she comes to the plate, our third baseman. That's going to be a nice changeup. She got ahead of it. Swinging strike. And she knows she could really pop that ball if her timing had been a little better. You see her kind of throw her bat up for a second, saying, oh, I got to hit that one a mile if I knew it was a changeup. So she'll come to the plate. See if she can move the runner. And she pops it toward right field, and it's a little bloop hit. A little bloop hit that the right fielder or the second baseman couldn't get to. And that will be her second hit of the night. Jules Garcia, the catcher's next. And she, of course, has had a good night. Has a hit in the game. I know at least one. That ball is low. Do they do much double stealing at Weslaco? Actually, it was a strike. I apologize. It was a strike. Yeah. Do they do much double stealing, Alex? All right. Not much double stealing, he tells us. So it is 0-1, one out. Double steal is always fun to watch. A double steal involving home plate is one of the most exciting plays I've always thought in baseball. Here's the pitch, and it's going to be popped up. Second baseman will have it. Runners cannot advance, and that will be the second out of the inning. So it'll bring up designated player Stacy Batista, number 10. Stacy had a hit in that last inning that contributed to the 5 runs, also scored, obviously. Popped out to short her first time. Swings at a high pitch, strike one. Fans very vocal. We can hear them tonight, of course. It's always fun when your team's ahead. That ball grounded into the dirt. 0-2 count. Mercedes is about 10 miles down the road, right? To the 5 miles? 5 miles to the east. I know they have a big shopping center, outlet center over at Mercedes. One of the things they're known for. Again, I've been to their football facility before, a very nice facility. Pitch is high and outside. 1-2. It's different being in this booth. I usually see my crew that I work with, but I can't see them. So I guess they're all doing okay. At least I know they're not getting wet or getting too cold tonight. That's always good news. Val and Vinny. And that is going to be popped to center field. Going to go over the center fielder's head. And we are going to have at least one run come in. We're going to have 2 score. It's going to be a double. And going to score 2 runners. So a nice hit to center field. Alex, have you seen a lot of home runs in here over the years? Yeah, he said, Alex just said over the years there's been some good home run hitters. And now a trip coming out to the mound. Again, 7-0 now the score. 5 runs in the 3rd inning, 2 here in the 4th.
Physical therapist, she was an honor student at Weslaco ISD, played sports, and was a cheerleader. She graduated from Ohio State University, then physical therapy school at Texas State University. Now she is Dr. Christine McCleary at Triumph Therapy and part of the clinical faculty at UTRGV School of Medicine. Weslaco ISD is home to some of the most prestigious graduates in the Rio Grande Valley. For Christine McCleary, WISD was the right choice.
So the starter went 4 2/3 innings. Gave up 10 hits and 7 runs and would be still responsible for the runner on second. Getting ready to bat for Weslaco. Now that the warm-up pitches are done. Alexia Scamamilla flied out, also had a single and scored in that big inning. Big 3rd inning. 3rd was a big inning. Now maybe the 4th will be too. Again, there is a 10-run mercy rule, I've been told. So, how many do you, does the game have to go a certain amount of innings before the mercy rule goes into effect? Okay, the game has to go at least 5 innings, even with the 10-run mercy rule that would come into effect. Yeah, well, this is what we think at least. So, right. Oh, it might be 15. If you called 15 and 3, then that might be a mercy rule too. Okay. Okay. Alex is not sure of these things, but we're just trying to get some insights. We're kind of in spring training too, right, Alex? Our first game of the year, at least from a baseball or softball standpoint. And I'm sure I'll call softball baseball a couple times this year. I don't mean to, but it's a natural mistake as much baseball as I watched growing up. Lexi at the plate, and off to a good start as the new pitcher as she gets a strike on her first pitch, the reliever coming in. And now it's a ball, and I heard someone yell, "Good eye," yelling some encouragement to the batter, Lexi. Yeah. I remember all those chants, "Hey, batter, bad batter, swing." People still do all that. Yeah. Yeah, Alex said the people like to chant, even here at Weslaco. That was inside. 2-1. I heard people saying, "Hang in there, Alexia." They say stay in there. I don't know. That got pretty close. I think I'd bail out that last one myself. All right. Again, we've got that runner on second. 2 outs. That's a high pitch, a wild pitch. But the runner may be out. No, it's safe at third. Got underneath the tag. So nice job there. Getting to third base by Batista. Underneath the tag. I was almost sure. Didn't you think, Alex, for a moment she was going to be out? Yeah. Yeah. But she did a nice job getting to third. And there's the pitch, swinging strike. 3-2 is the count, full count. So we get ready, the pitch, and it's going to be a ball, a walk. So now we have runners on the corners, first and third with 2 outs. Jordan Diaz coming to the plate. Had a triple in the last inning, also walked in this game. Scored in that last inning. Diaz, left fielder. And that ball hits the net. I think if they didn't have a net, that one would have headed toward my window here. So it's 0-1. Of course, last batter, it was an 0-1 count. for the reliever that's come in. But Rodriguez then lost the batter finally to a walk. And that ball will roll to third. Slow roller, but fast throw to first. And that is going to retire the side. So in the inning, we had 2 runs, 3 hits, and 2 left on base. We have now played 4 complete, and it's 7-0. Weslaco is up on top of Mercedes. Struck out the side last inning. So, again, we give her a lot of credit for a fine job as pitcher tonight. Again, Gutierrez going the first 4 innings, not giving up a run, striking out 10, and only allowing 1 hit. And did not walk anybody. Maybe once or twice, got up to 3 balls on a batter, but not very often there. Very good control. And this is the first pitch here in the 5th inning. And it is going to be a ball. And batting right now, I believe it's Claire Garza. And that is going to be a strike, something we've seen a lot of tonight. Garza has struck out and her one at bat tonight. This time it's going to go down to second base. Second base can't quite get it. The second baseman can't quite get it. It goes into the outfield. It will be a hit. But a good effort, just couldn't quite get there. That was Lily Torres. Couldn't quite reach it, but hustled. So leadoff single. Only the second hit of the game for the visitors. And coming up, Ramari Parales. And she will hit the first pitch foul. So 0-1 count, leadoff batter on. And my apologies to Garza. I was trying to write down the lineups really quick. Or actually, first name is Clarissa, not Claire, so apologies there. Roller to third base, and they get the force at second. 3-4. Actually, I'm sorry. 5-3. 5-4. Again, I'm getting my numbers down. It's been about a year since I've done baseball, so I've got to get all that. I got to get all those numbers. I can't do it as quick as I used to right away. It'll take me a game or two. But that was a 5-4 out. Fielder's choice. It's hard when you do 2 different sports on 2 different nights. You know, you have to just a whole different deal. But it's fun. It's fun. So now, coming to the plate, Michaela Cisneros, center fielder. 2 quick strikes. 1 out. Top of the 5th. Weslaco leads 7-0. That ball is caught. Nice job, caught deep in left field near the line. A nice grab out there by Jordan Diaz. So that is going to be 2 outs. Stepping to the plate. Angelique Rangel. And that's a swinging strike. As we look out there, doesn't look like you lose much with Rodriguez out there. She looks like a pretty good closer. That pitch high. 1-1. Busy week in sports. After nothing happening last week because of the weather, a lot of the Weslaco teams in action this week. That's a pop, and it's going to be an out. Pop out to second. So in the inning, no runs, 1 hits, no errors, 1 runner left on base. We've played 4.5, and it is Weslaco 7-0 over Mercedes.
Before Rene Hinojosa became a business executive, he was a student at Weslaco ISD. He participated in UIL academics, designed the original Wildcats logo, was an all-state academic middle linebacker. He then played for the Longhorns, graduating with a business degree from UT. Now he's the Director of Strategic Development at Doctors Hospital at Renaissance. Weslaco ISD is home to some of the most prestigious graduates in the Rio Grande Valley. For Rene Hinojosa, WISD was the right choice.
So we go to the bottom of the 5th, and we'll have to check now, where she's playing now. She went to short, okay. Katia Reyes, who was the starting pitcher that did that nice job in 4 innings, now playing short and batting, and she gets a hit to start off the 5th inning, and it goes back to the wall. Miscue, and she's going to get a triple out of it. Is there any error on that play? Okay, so it's a single and an error and a 2-base error, right? A single and a 2-base error. Okay, thank you on that. Our scorer, Alex, told us that. So that was very nice by Reyes. Again, 2-base error gets her to third. She had a 3-base hit the last time up. Or at least one of her times up, I should say. And she is now 2 for 3 batting. At strike is Julie Rodriguez, who's now pitching, is at the plate. And again, Rodriguez 0 for 2 batting. She's popped out and also grounded out. This time, foul ball, left side. 11 hits now for the Lady Panthers, just 2. Just 2 for Mercedes. Each of the pitchers has given up 1. But lots of strikeouts in this game. Reyes with 10. And that is going to be a wild pitch, and it's going to score. We call that wild pitch, right? Okay. A wild pitch scores Reyes. And the count is now 1-2. So it is now 8-0. And Weslaco has scored a run in each of the last 3 innings, at least 1, after being shut out over the first 3 innings. Scheduled 7-inning game. Foul ball. 1-2. The dark night sky has completely engulfed the Rio Grande Valley. I guess I could get a little more poetic, but that'll be enough for now. And not a drop of rain to be found, thank goodness. Or an icicle either. Actually, a couple of those days where I live up in McAllen, I had some icicles on the tailpipes of my car last week. 2-2 now the count. Again, we'll be bringing you a number of games this year. Know some people can't get out, don't feel safe coming out. Well, listen to it on YouTube. And that was a scorching shot grabbed by the third baseman. Nice play. A nice grab of that ball. That came off like a rocket. So, we now have an out. And Marlene Trara is up. Looking for her first hit tonight. Want to know the count? Count's now even at 1-1. Five runs in the third for Weslaco, 2 in the fourth, and 1 here in the fifth. That's a shot down the third base side, a nice grab. And that is the second out. So that went 5-3. And I'm liking what I'm seeing by Zelinde Camacho defensively. Caught that hot shot. And there's a couple times grounders have come to her and she's had good arm strength, throwing it across the diamond to get the runner out. Bunt attempt by Lily Torres. Winds up being a ball. 2 outs again. Torres has reached on an air, has a hit, and also popped out. As Alex pointed out very astutely earlier, one lefty in the lineup for Weslaco. Eight 0, 2-1 the count. I always like Weslaco's uniforms, of course. I'm an LSU Tigers fan, so I like purple in general. But also, I'm just saying not just because they're purple, but because they always look very classy. I know the basketball teams, I think, in the middle of the season got new uniforms. 3-1 is the count. Catcher comes out and talks for a minute with the pitcher. Rodriguez. And that is going to be a walk. So Lily Torres comes to first, and Mia Rodriguez comes to the plate. She's got a couple hits tonight, scored a couple times. Double and a single. One runner on, 2 outs, and swinging strike. Rodriguez looks like she's got some power. We've seen that, too. Now, that's a young lady I could see hitting the ball out. Just a freshman, I've been told. Wow. She's got potentially a good career ahead of her. That's a big foul ball. My car's parked back that way, but I think a little farther. Once, when I was working minor league ball in Mobile, Alabama, you had to be careful parking the cars. There was a staff parking lot. The Bay Bears were playing there back then, and they were at that time the San Diego Padres AA affiliate. You got to be careful where you park the car back there because there were broken windshields. And that's a swinging strike, and that is going to be the end of the inning. So we see another run added by Weslaco. And now, after 5 complete, they lead 8-0.
Before Clarissa Renteria was a dentist, she was a student at Weslaco ISD. She was a cheerleader, played softball, and started college early through the dual enrollment program. She graduated from UTPA before earning her degree from the University of Texas School of Dentistry in Houston. Now she is Dr. Renteria, creating beautiful smiles at Professional Dental Group. Weslaco ISD is home to some of the most prestigious graduates in the Rio Grande Valley. For Dr. Clarissa Renteria, WISD was the right choice.
And we see Mercedes back trying to see if they can at least get on the scoreboard. That is looks like a new batter in there. Is that correct? Is that, trying to check here. Is that number 7? I think it looks like Michelle De La Torre. And that would be a new player, and if that is the case. Okay, so 7 has come into the game to lead off here in the 6th inning. Seen her first action of the night. Maybe there'll be some substitutions. It's now a 2-0 count, 2-1. I'll try to look up a little bit about De La Torre. She's a freshman. Does play the outfield among what she does with the team. That's a swinging strike, 2-2. Julia Rodriguez beginning her 2nd inning of relief. Hoping to preserve the shutout. That's a high heat, and that is a swinging strike. So there we go. And I believe that's her first strikeout of the game after 10 by Reyes over the first 4 innings. And coming up, let's see if we have another new player in. New player? Okay. So it's number 5 in. Oh, and 1 count. Rodriguez batting. She is struck out and grounded out. This time she'll ground out for a 2nd time. The 2nd time today, 4-3. 2nd time today, 2nd consecutive at bat, she's grounded out 4-3. So there's 2 outs. And coming up, we have Bridget Sanchez. Sanchez is struck out in both her appearances. If they're able to preserve their lead, the next at-bat will be the final bat of the night for the Lady Panthers. And again, it's been going all their way. That's a pop out to 2nd, and that is going to be a very quick inning. So, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We have played now 5.5 innings, and it is the Lady Panthers over the Lady Tigers of Mercedes, 8-0. right, so we have a substitution now as we begin the bottom of the 6th inning. Could be the last half inning. And this is going to be Rami Nunez. Rami seeing her first action. I remember Solis ran one time for the pitcher. And that is going to be a strike. And you know, if you're a sub, you want to make the most of this situation. This is not, let's just try to get this game over. You want to impress the coaching staff. You want to get some numbers. You want to get some more playing time. And that was a hard hit, but foul. Good cut at the ball. Rami, another righty. Again, Weslaco, as far as what we've seen tonight, all right-handers except for the leadoff hitter, the second baseman, Lily Torres. Count is 0-2. Here's the windup and the pitch. High, 1-2. We've seen good control tonight. Nobody really come close to getting hit, really. On either team, there's been no hit batsman tonight by either pitchers or any of the pitchers. That's going to be a pop-up. Maybe a catch by a fan, but not by a player. I remember growing up in Chicago, a lot of the older men would go out and they'd play softball, but they had this old big marshmallow-looking softball. It's like 16 inches or something. I don't know. It's huge. And you really just tried to position it. It wasn't like you could hit it a mile, but you would try to position it into part of the outfield and get it over somebody's head. And these guys could barely run to first base. They had not been to the gym in a while, let's put it that way. So fitness was not one of their bigger fortes. A lot of these players that were in those leagues in Chicago, the 16-inch softball leagues. What's that? So here we go. 1-2 count. And that is going to be some high heat, and you got to give the pitcher credit on that one. But Romney, she took her cuts. And again, I thought she had a pretty good stance out there. Made the most of her opportunity, even there's one out. All right, we're going to see if we have another sub come in or who's up. We'll see in a moment. Again, yeah, so it is number 3 batting. And that would be Caitlin Garcia. Her first bat of the night. 1 out. Again, this will be the last at bats for Weslaco if they hold the lead in the top of the inning. That will end the game. If they do not give up at least 8 runs in the next half inning, the game will be over. It will be their second victory of the year. Garcia listed as a center fielder. This is her first at bat. 0-2 the count. Rodriguez. Hanging in there. Trying to finish strong. Lobbed in there, and that's going to be a ball. 2-2. It's amazing how strong these young ladies can throw the ball underhanded. I've always marveled at that. I mean, there's an art to doing that. I'm not even sure my body could do that. And again, a strikeout. So 2 in a row for Rodriguez in this inning. And coming to the plate is Lexi Escamilla. She could be the final batter of the game for Weslaco at least. We'll see. She's had a good game. She's had a hit. She's walked. Among what she's done tonight. I believe she's walked, had a single and scored, and also flied out to center. That was her first time she flied out. All right, the windup in the pitch. 1-1. Do people do the 7th inning stretch here, Alex? Gonna get me some peanuts and Cracker Jack, right? If that old traditional song. My father actually worked for Cracker Jack at one time. That's a swinging strike. 1-2. So Rodriguez 1 strike away from striking out the side. Reyes did it twice tonight for Weslaco in the 2nd and 4th innings. 4th inning or final inning of work. Here's the pitch. Ball, 2-2. Going to take a day of rest tomorrow before heading off to Corpus Christi on Thursday for that 7 o'clock area matchup involving Warren from San Antonio and the Weslaco boys in basketball. And that is going to be a strike. So Rodriguez strikes out the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. Here in the 6th, we go to the top of the 7th, see if Weslaco can close it out and have their 2nd victory of the season.
Before Harlan Block raised the flag over Iwo Jima, he was a student at Weslaco ISD. There he played for the Panthers, won a championship, and learned some of the leadership skills he and 7 other students used while serving in the Marines. Weslaco ISD is home to some of the most prominent graduates in the Rio Grande Valley. For war hero Harlan Block, Weslaco ISD was the right choice.
So we are getting ready, if you're a Weslaco fan, hopefully for the last half inning of baseball. And coming to the plate, Angelique Rangel. Here's the first pitch. It's low. Like I said, baseball is the timeless sport. We never know if we're going to go quick or long. I've been over the years in some very long games. This is going to be a grounder to short. Out 4-3. So, quick start to the inning. And Rangel, of course, as she's 0 for 3, she's struck out once, popped out, and now grounded out. And this is the young lady coming up next, who's done a real nice job at third base defensively. We saw her just glove a hot shot to the corner there. We saw some nice throws from her tonight. Celinde Camacho, and swings at the first pitch strike. She, if I recall, has grounded out and also struck out. Again, Weslaco 2 outs away from their 2nd win of the season. Fouled back. Oh, 2 count. Weslaco again scored 5 in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th, and 1 in the 5th. Big inning in that 3rd where every batter batted. They batted around, and that's going to be a strikeout. So that is at least the 2nd strikeout tonight for our reliever. And if I'm right, that's at least 12 strikeouts tonight for the pitchers of Weslaco. Very impressive. That means 4 right now, 4 of the 7 innings were just strikeouts. 3 outs an inning. So that would mean, my math, even if the final batter just grounds out or pops out, whatever, you'd have 12 outs by strikeouts and 9 by some other method. And I never was a math major, so hopefully I'm right on that. I stuck to English and business. So here we go. 0-1 the count. Clarissa Garza up right now. And she's going to ground it short. Will this be the final out? It is. It's out. 6-3. So no runs, no hits, no errors. And again, Reyes will pick up the victory. And of course the save goes to her buddy out there who's done a nice job and really got after it tonight, Julie Rodriguez. So our final lines tonight, Weslaco, 8 runs, 11 hits, no errors. Meanwhile, for Mercedes, no runs, 2 hits, 1 error. Final score, 8-0. Weslaco, the Lady Panthers over Mercedes in the softball action. And we see the Lady Panthers now 2-0 in the season. And for Val Zamora and Vinny Berry, our K-West crew, I'm Scott Harrison. Good night, everybody.